Wisconsin Badgers. The Wisconsin Badgers went 5-7 last year under head coach Luke Fickell. It's not necessarily been what Wisconsin hoped it would be under Luke Fickell, considering what he did at Cincinnati and kind of the circumstances they got him in for. It's just kind of been average seasons, and from there, Sanders, take it away.
Yeah, so they are set up. It's going to be very different this year. So they're bringing in a new offensive coordinator, Jeff Grimes, who it's a big change up from the guy they had last year. I don't remember his first name. Longo? Phil Longo. Thank you. He tried to bring an air raid offense to a Wisconsin team that has just never been that style. They've churned out running backs like Monty Ball, Jonathan Taylor, Melvin Gordon, Corey Clement. And these are it's just their identity has been the run game for so long that it makes sense that the air raid never really clicked there. And so, yeah, they bring in Jeff Grimes, and it's going to be hopefully getting back to that same old approach. Grimes comes over from Kansas, where last year they were 16th in the country in rush yards per game and rush yards per attempt. So pretty good rushing attack there. It'll be really exciting to see. They've got 2 4-star running backs from last year in Darian Dupree and Dylan Jones. So they were both class of 24. They'll both be redshirt freshmen or sophomores, so they're both going to their second year. That could be a really good duo. The quarterback, Billy Edwards, we'll get JP to talk about him in a second, comes from Maryland, where he had 2,800 yards, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Then he also had 5 rushing touchdowns. And I believe maybe more the year before, so he's a good running threat. They've got a good wide receiver in Jaden Ballard, or formerly talented. He's a talented wide receiver. Was the number 4 wide receiver in the class of 2021. He never started a game in 4 years at Ohio State, but Ohio State had guys like Marvin Harrison Jr. last year,
Emeka Egbuka,
Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate. Like, that wide receiver room has been so stacked that you could be an NFL wide receiver and not have ever started a game at Ohio State the past couple of years. They do have some NFL talented guys. They've got an offensive tackle who's top 100 on the PFF Big Board. He allowed only 2 sacks last year with a 74.5 PFF grade. They've got a safety who had 2 interceptions, only 1 touchdown allowed. He's top 150. Another cornerback who had a down 2024 year, but in 2023, which I believe was his freshman year, had 7 interceptions with only 1 touchdown and an 84.1 PFF coverage grade.
I'll take a guy with 7 picks.
Yeah, definitely. So if he can kind of get back, I was really surprised when I saw that he was rated so highly on the big board. I looked at his 2024 stats, and they were low key awful.
Yeah.
And I was like, this makes no sense. But you go back and look, and it was kind of a Derek Stingley situation where he played incredible as a freshman and just immediately put his name down as a NFL draft guy. So we'll see how that shapes up for him going into year 3. But quarterback Billy Edwards, JP, what are your thoughts about him and this new Jeff Grimes offense? How will it work with Billy Edwards?
Well, I'm glad we're going away from the air raid. That should not be run, north of Tennessee, just because of weather concerns.
Sure.
Really get late into the year. Billy is, like I said about the Rutgers quarterback earlier, he's a quarterback. He can make some throws. He's not too afraid to run and run over some guys. He's one of those quarterbacks where, because he's obviously never going to reach the professional level, college ball is his only ball, so he doesn't care what happens to him. He will try to run people over and play physical and is not worried about putting his body on the line, which could be exciting for Wisconsin, potentially a quarterback. And I think he'll fit perfectly in this kind of offense where it's a ground and pound, play action pass. I think he's a great fit for that. He doesn't turn the ball over a ton. He had 9 picks last year, but Maryland was just a bad team, and they were down in a lot of games, and he was forced to throw the ball a ton and was forced into bad decisions. I don't expect that to necessarily be the case at Wisconsin, even though they may not be leading in a bunch of games either. They're going to stick to their MO, and I think Billy will play fine with the Badgers offense.
Yeah, it was. So his stat line, his rushing stat line in 24 was 267 yards, 5 touchdowns. In 2023, it was 98 yards, 7 touchdowns. So I don't know what the situation there. I don't think he had a lot of passing attempts. I could be wrong. So it might have been a situation. Yeah, he did not. So it was probably a situation where he was the red zone, come in and punch the ball in. So
Well, yeah, I mean, Talia was there. Talia's not going to be the.
yeah. So he.
Am I pronouncing it wrong again?
I think it's Talia.
Talia.
I'm not. I have,
frick.
now I don't know. Now you're making me question.
We're good. Oh, sorry.
Um,
I shouldn't have mentioned anything.
Billy Edwards can get it done with his legs. So I am excited to see that along. I almost want to predict like a dynamic two-headed attack out of the backfield with Dupree and Jones or Dupre, depending on, I don't know how that's pronounced.
I'd say Dupree.
Yeah, probably.
It's 2 E's.
Yeah. So that could be really exciting. Those are two talented guys. Over-under is 5.5. Last year they went 5-7. They do have a tough schedule this year. They play Michigan, Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana, Illinois, and Alabama. And that means that I will be taking the under. Well, no, they could win the other 6 games. They play Washington too, though.
And they go to Minnesota, who's no slouch. I was going to take the over here, but that schedule's just too tough for me to do that
And
confidently.
Iowa. They play Iowa.
I'm going to take the under here, which is unfortunate because I think this team is good enough to make a bowl. In theory, that schedule just is lethal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take the under here too. They played the toughest schedule in the Big Ten by far.
Yeah.
And I think Pate said it was like top 5 toughest schedule in the country.
If they miss a bowl, does Fickle
At
get...
Alabama, at Michigan, at Oregon, like
Yeah.
good luck.
There's no easy stretch.
No. The first 4 games are probably the
we've-
easiest, and
Yeah.
you go to
We've
Alabama.
talked about it previously, like even the bye week can be tough, and they've got to play bye week twice.
Yeah.
Both of those at home, but
Getting them at home is pretty crucial. Crazy only one team has to go to bye.
Yeah.
Bye week's just a road warrior for the most part.
Yeah.
If they don't make a bowl, y'all think Fickle could get fired?
Here's what I was about to say. I think this season could be a good season and you go 5-7. And by that I mean they reclaim their identity. I think Luke Fickle can reestablish the 2010s Wisconsin where they went 10-2 a couple years, like had some really good years. I think if Fickle can reestablish that identity, win 5 games against your easier opponents, you're out of conference, Maryland, who is their other? Oh, Alabama. So you're not winning that game, but 2 out of conference and then 3 Big Ten wins. And then in the games you lose, as long as you are, putting up some rush yards and you are carrying that identity, I think I think he could buy himself another year. And then in next year, you build on that and hopefully have an easier schedule. The home with Alabama, I believe, would be over. I do not know if they have it beyond 2 years. So, yeah,
it's over. They played
over?
it out. Alabama went to Wisconsin last year.
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was a home and home or sometimes they have it could be.
Well, yeah, I mean
long term.
This is the second part of it, so.
Yeah, I think he could go 5-7 and keep his job.
I mean, he
because they're bringing the Wisconsin identity back.
But I just trying to get fans and boosters to see that can be tough.
Maybe you get lucky and you get to 6 wins beating Iowa and Illinois at home.
I mean, it's
and
not
Washington
out of the realm of possibility. That as you say it sounds pretty daunting.